Hello there, how are you? My name is Lois Gidiga and welcome to my channel. If you're new, welcome and please subscribe to this channel just so that you're not missing out on our weekly videos. And please turn on, please turn on the notifications, okay? If you're my returning fan, thank you so much for keeping it here. Thank you for your love. I really appreciate that. Tonight, I'm making this video. It's a series of the videos that I'm making for newcomers to Canada. And this one is on how to find skilled work in Canada when you are new. Okay? Yes, so if you did not come here on a work permit, you are going to be needing a job. And remember, we already talked about how to get those starter jobs, the easy to find jobs. But that is not our focus because we are skilled immigrants. Most of us came as express entry people. So you're already skilled. So when you're skilled, your goal is to get that skilled job just so that you can get that satisfaction. Remember, one of the eligibility that you had to fulfill was education, high education, and qualifying work experience. So most of the people who come through that program, they are highly educated people who are doing very well career-wise in their countries, and that is the goal, is to come here and be successful and get a career that fulfills their dreams. So the first thing that you need to do is check whether your job requires certification. Okay, yes, just know whether your career is going to require a license. It's highly regulated, just so then you can acquire the right certification to be able to practice here in Canada. And as you know, a lot of jobs in pharmacy, vets, healthcare, nursing, doctors, lawyers, engineers, etc., you are going to be certified here in Canada. Mostly you cannot just come here and be able to work without meeting the Canadian standard. So always make sure that you've taken care of that. The other thing for these skilled jobs, most of them are going to require you show an ECA, and I know you know what an ECA is. That is an education credential assessment. So if you have not done that, or if your ECA is not valid anymore, please consider doing your ECA. We have organizations here in Canada that take care of that. You can always submit your credentials to ICOAS. Okay, it takes a while, so make sure you're doing that immediately when you land. Most of the jobs with the government or the federal government, you are going to show an ECA. Okay, yes, so where do we start? We want that job. You maybe already have Canadian work experience, right? You have that because you did that starter job. So where do we start? The best and the most important thing you can do to yourself: research, research, research. You cannot do too much research, right? So research, a good place to start. If you're in Alberta, a good place to start, go to Alice, Alberta, ALIS, Alice, Alberta. What that is going to show you, it's going to show you a list of jobs, all the jobs offered here, their titles, their pay grades, how much you earn when you're just newly employed, and the caps, the work experience required, the various industry, just how much you can earn across the various industries. As you know, in Alberta, we have the oil and gas industry and we have the regular service industries. So those two have different pay scales. So it's a good place to go see exactly what you're looking at, and that way you can prepare yourself. Another place to do research is the job bank. Go to the job bank, see the jobs which are listed there, see yourself, see what you can do, what you cannot do, see the skills, and then you're going to be able to know how to align your resume, because when you're creating that resume, you need to align your work experience, your skill sets to the requirements of the job. I know you know that tip. Okay? Yes, so you've already researched. So what next? The next and the most important thing also is working on your resume. You may not be able just to work on your resume on your own, because there's a certain way how we work, how we make resumes here in Canada. Where I come from, we used to call them CVs. And for the CV, you put your hobbies, you put your marital status, you put your age, stuff like that, which are not necessary here. You do not need those. So please, there's a lot of resources for newcomers. Please seek them. There are organizations which are funded by the government of Canada to help newly landed immigrants. Places like Center for Newcomers, places like SIWA, immigrant societies, the Calgary Library, the library, Service Alberta. Go there. They have all these tools. They're going to show you how to work on your resume, how to apply for jobs, where to apply for jobs, how to attend interviews, and prepare all that. So seek these resources. They are free of charge. All right? Yes, now that you already have your resume, what next? Where do you take your resume? The other thing you may want to do, update your LinkedIn status. Yes, that profile, update it. Create one if you do not have. If you already have, please update it. A lot of employers these days are looking at LinkedIn to see whether they can get the candidates, and that is also a place whereby people are getting called for interviews and are getting jobs through that. Okay? Then where are you looking for these jobs? All right? Look for jobs. We have a lot of online platforms. Platforms like the Job Bank. Remember, I talked about the Job Bank. They have a lot of jobs posted on Job Bank. We have Indeed. Indeed is really good. I like Indeed. You're going to find a lot of jobs, and these jobs, some of them even they are listed with their salaries. The salaries you can expect. You can go to Workopolis. You can go to Monster. There's a lot of them. So just go online and look for these places. Upload your resume there and be ready to be called for an interview if an employer likes your profile. Okay. Another thing you need to be doing, attend hiring fairs. Yes, go to hiring fairs. There's a lot of them around the city. The city of Calgary does organize those. Other organizations do come up. University of Calgary, places here, even places like SAIT, and even organizations join hands and they do like grand hiring fairs. So it's always good. Show up there. You never know who you're going to meet. Go and talk with employers one-on-one, and who knows, you may get that job. Okay? Yes. One thing I always tell people, do not ignore starter jobs. You know, that reception job, that admin job, don't ignore those. That customer service job, do not ignore them, because it doesn't matter. Even if you're an engineer, you can answer calls and you can support something. You can support a service, right? And that is a place that you can always start to network, go know people as you're working towards your end goal. So that's always a good place to be. Yeah. All right. And that is for people who don't want to do the manual jobs. You can do some office jobs that actually can get you in the door. If you get the right industry, if you get the right company and you're eyeing that company, if let's say you're an accountant, you want to work with this major accounting firm, you can always look for a starter job, get your foot in the door and work your way up. All right. Yes. One important thing. Yes, networking. I cannot overemphasize on networking and the beauty and the power of networking in this city. This country, what I realized immediately when I came here, where I came from, if people referred or hired people they knew, that was called nepotism. Here, people hire people they know because they know their work ethic. So they really encourage people who are highly recommended. So network with the right people. Look for friends, get friends, do meetups. There's a lot of meetups you can Google on meetups. So if you're a lawyer, you can look for meetups with other lawyers in the city. Okay? So yes, network. You cannot over network. All right. The other thing, please consider this. register with recruiting agencies. We have a lot of recruiting agencies, especially like here in Calgary. Please Google networking agencies. I know we have Office Temps, we have Robert Half, we have Diversified, we have a lot of them. So go register there. There's always a lot of headhunters here, talent hunters. Go register with them. Even if you're going to get temp jobs, at least it's a way for you to get your foot in the door. It's a way for you to work and create that work experience. So that is also a really good place to start. One thing that I have found valuable, very valuable, is volunteering. When you go to an organization, of course, not just any organization, you have to be strategic, work, focus, know how to approach. So if there's that organization that you have been eyeing, you can always approach them. Go volunteer, offer your services there for free. Let them see just how awesome you are. And once you give your services 2, 3, 4 months down the line, as long as you bring some cash to sustain you while you're able to look for work, then that way you have choice. So when you're volunteering there, if they have a position that opens up, of course, you're going to be the first person to be hired as long as you're doing a good job. The other thing, people know you're talking to people. Even if you leave, they always know that they can call you for that job. So volunteering is really, 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 really important. Okay. Let me see what I have left behind. Okay. I have talked about that. Yes, get a mentor. Get into mentorship. The resources that I talked about, the resources for newcomers, some of them have mentorship programs. I remember I went through SIWA and they had a mentorship program. They even hold breakfast for newcomers where they get you business cards, they let you meet with employers, they help you brand yourself, get a mentor. Go get a mentor who is going to hold your hand. That person can be actually handy when you need that reference. Okay? One other thing, please do not forget, if you're leaving your job from your country, if you're leaving your job back there, live in good terms. Those references also come in handy. Some employers actually call abroad to your references to just check on what kind of a person you are and would those people hire you again. So if you left on good terms, that is a good reference. And that is assuming you don't have Canadian references. Your abroad references can come in handy. Okay? Then another thing, there's so many resources. I don't even know whether I can talk enough about the resources that we have for newcomers. If you're going for an interview, we have resources like Dress for Success. There are places where you can go get a suit, get dressed to attend that interview. You need that confidence boost. You need to be looking like a boss. So yeah, we have places. Actually, there's a lot of them. You can Google that. Dress for Success. I know that for sure. You can always go get a suit and then you are on the way to attending your interview. Yes, and all those are the resources that I talked about. Most of them are also going to help you prepare for an interview. All right, finally, if you feel like going back to school, because I know going back to school, it's not everybody's cup of tea. You may hear that you need to go back to school maybe for 2-3 years and you don't have that patience. You can always change your career. Yes, Canadians do that all the time. You can change your career. You can consider changing your career. You can see what other thing you can do that highly interests you, or you can easily transition into and still gives you a good earning. Okay, if not, consider doing a short course. Consider earning a Canadian credential on something. It could be human resource. You can do a certificate in human resource, and that can really boost you on your career to some of these professions. Okay? All right. So I'm wishing you all the best when you're looking for your job. And I know that you are going to be successful and you're going to find good work here. I know anything is possible in this country. I've been there. I've seen people, immigrants come here and they prosper all the time. I know there's a very bad vibe here because a lot of people come and feel like they're stuck. But here you are your own limit. Please, anything is possible if you're determined. If you want to sacrifice anything you put your focus on is possible. You just need a good plan and a good strategy, and you are on your way to your next job. Okay, keep it here. I'll be making a lot of these videos. So thank you so much for tuning in, and good night. Bye.